approval of minutes, the committee members have had a chance to review. I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved. Seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye. Where is?
Well, I mean, I probably should say for the record, we've had an incorrect vote, so make me go aye.
Well, I seconded it.
We need a roll call vote now?
Exactly. You probably have the right to vote.
Mr. Crowe,
We
would
need to
you
look-
like to second that?
I would be glad to keep this legal.
Alright.
All right, item number one, under new business, authorizing sanitary sewer connection and acceptance agreement with Tuscaloosa County for the Culver Road Sanitary Sewer Project. Welcome, Mr. Holmes.
Good afternoon, council. I will go over sort of the high level of this. If there are detailed questions you have when I complete, I'm happy to help. Water and sewer is here, and I'm sure happy to help, and some of our partners in the county are here. So between the three of us, hopefully somebody will have a good answer. So the sort of highlight, best place to start for this is a sanitary sewer acceptance and connection agreement. I don't know if we have done one of these with the county since a number of y'all have been on this council. So what typically happens is the county receives some sort of grant to take a portion of their citizens off of septic tanks. They use that grant money to build out a sewer line. We then accept that sewer once it's completed, and it becomes our sewer line from then on, and they become our sewer customers. The project is no cost to the city. That is obviously above the time that the city staff spends on it. Once a year has passed and the warranty is expired after we've accepted it, there are potential costs to the city in the future, just long-term maintenance, upkeep, repairs, should something happen to sewer, because at that point it's our sewer. This project would provide sanitary sewer collection to 101 county residences. This is along Culver Road, 31st Street, East 33rd Street, 60th Avenue, 60th Court, 40th Street, Sanders Ferry Road, Johnson Road, 65th Avenue. This also includes 13 city residences that are along 57th Court, 32nd Street, and 35th Street. This project consists mostly of gravity sewer main with 11 residences. We do not believe to be able to connect via gravity sewer. They'll have the option to connect via a low pressure collection line. It'll include 58 manholes with a little over 13,000 linear feet of gravity sewer mains to serve those residences. When we do a agreement like this, we've done these in Holt, we've done them a number of times in the past. Some of the highlights of the agreement are that the plans and the drawings have to conform to and incorporate all of our standards and our requirements in the sewer system. The final drawings and plans have to be submitted to the city for review and comment. Ultimately, we get to make all the comments, edit, work with them on the plans prior to construction. During construction, all part of the activity are inspected by the city. We monitor, we look at things. As a matter of fact, as part of the agreement, if for some reason something gets covered up before we get to inspect it, they have to dig it back up so we can inspect it at their expense. The county is required to construct a sewer pursuant to all applicable sanitary sewer pumping station standards and specifications, and in full compliance with our standards. So for instance, if somebody was building a neighborhood and they build out the sewer, all the same criteria that they have to follow before we will accept it has to be followed as part of this project. Ultimately, after the completion of the project, it still comes back to council for official acceptance. County is building this with some money from ADEM, I believe, as well as some ARPA funds. I don't know if there's additional funds involved.
So, Scott, the city won't be spending any money on this other than our time until the infrastructure is completed to city specs, and then it would be tied onto our system where they would become customers of our water and sewer department, correct?
That's correct.
So, how long does this agreement, is it out there for what period of time do they have to do this?
No, sir, under this agreement, they have, 1 year to construct and for us to accept this.
1 year. And so this is totally on the county though. They've got to finance this, they've got to do this, and then bring it to our specs,
And-
which is fine.
And the county isn't even required to do this project. Actually, part of the agreement is if for some reason they can't get where they need to get in time to spend the ARPA money, or if something happens with the ADEM funds, or if for any other reason the county just decides they're not gonna do this, they don't have to do it. This agreement expires and we just continue on.
I guess, but we don't really care about that, do we? I mean, if they're gonna tie on to the city of Tuscaloosa, they've got to meet our standards. That's the bottom line, no cost to us.
Yes.
And Mr. Chair, yes, sir, thank you so much. I have been working with, and had several meetings with the county and the commissioner on this project. And this project has been a long time coming for, a long time. I think about 11 to 12, 13 of our residents will be, benefiting. However, we wanna make sure that when the new sewer comes, that it does not overbear the current residents that are on the sewer as well. And I made that comment to them as we've met. And I think someone,
Councilman Wilson, that's not on the city, that's on
the county,
the county. Right?
Correct.
The county's got to deal with all that.
that's right,
All, for us,
right.
it's, all of that's got to be
Mhm.
our standards. And if it meets our standards, then we're fine to take them, right?
Of course, of course.
But that's not on us to have to fix that.
And that includes an engineering study to make sure there's capacity.
And our engineers have been there as well as with their engineers to make sure that our standards are comparable to what needs to be done. I think some of the county's persons are here today to speak and answer any questions as well.
What other,
I got some questions that, because I don't really know anything about it. So the county is building 13,000 linear feet of sanitary sewer line to get county, not city residents, off of septic tanks. 11 or 13 of those are city residents, right? How many are not?
There are 100 and so, and I wanna make sure I'm clear because I may not have even said it correctly. There are 101 county residences, and so that's 101 county homes, which may be 300 or 400 people. And 13 city houses.
13.
And do we, I'm asking, I honestly don't know, do we provide sanitary sewer for county residents?
We do in some limited areas in 69 South before city policies were changed, as well as some grant sewers. There's some in Hull. Kimberly may be able to say more, but this, we have done this, basically this same agreement with the county to accept grant sewers in the past. I don't know if it's
Okay, so Kimberly, is it fair to say this is a money-making arrangement for us? I mean, I assume we make or break even on sanitary sewer
So in
customers,
this
right?
case, we'll gain 114 sewer customers that are not current customers, and we're not having to pay for the infrastructure.
Okay.
So obviously, the maintenance costs and those kind of things, the long-term costs are there. But yes, and we have done this, and it's typically when, we don't do it that often, but it typically is it's with the county and it has to do with grant funding.
So does
And
this
they
carry
part of
a
their
water and
grant
sewer
package.
recommendation?
I'm sorry,
Does this carry a water and sewer recommendation?
as long as we receive the updated plans Friday, and then as long as we get the capacity study and it meets all of those things, then yes, as long as it's built to our standards, we don't have to.
That's great. So move.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 1 is approved. Item number 2 is authorizing a professional services agreement with Duncan Coker for engineering services for the Veterans Memorial Parkway pedestrian bridge. Total $9,700. Zach,
Good afternoon, council. So we're seeking approval for the Duncan Coker proposal to do a bridge inspection and provide a cost estimate based on that bridge inspection.
Oh, this is just the inspection and to do the cost estimate. I was thinking, man, $9,700. No, we could do anything for $9,700.
We've got district funds to cover that.
Dunkin'
Is that, with this?
Go ahead, I'm sorry, I interrupted.
I'm sorry, go ahead, you finish.
You go ahead.
Well, this is just what? This isn't to do anything, this is just to come.
Well,
up
better
with-
be to do something.
I mean,
This will
I don't mean actually go to put paint on it.
No, but
This
they're,
is
Just to figure out what we
Just
need
to
to
figure
do.
out what.
we're just gonna get $9,000.
Yep.
Yeah, this will be the inspection where they're gonna check the paint, they're gonna check the structures, the decking, the barriers.
Will they have any recommendations?
So their inspection is gonna come up with what needs to be repaired. And so then Duncan Coker will provide a cost estimate on those immediately needed repairs and also for future needed repairs. Cause some stuff may can take some time, some stuff may be immediate.
How long will this?
The bridge inspection should be done by the end of August, and then sometime in October, we should have a cost estimate, just depending on how much is wrong
or not.
or not.
So, Ms. Sanders, the money that we set aside in capital projects last year for what was then going to be the demolition, that money is still sitting sequestered somewhere sightline to that bridge, correct?
Question. Yes, sir.
How much was that? Sequestered money? 500,000?
Almost.
750,000.
Now,
$750.
don't tell them Duncan Coker's gonna come up with $750
What was
price
Mr.
estimate.
What was Mr. Kearney's word last week? Was it fluff?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have any more questions.
So the timeline then is, this passes next Tuesday to council. End of August, they'll have recommendations in the fall.
October.
In the
End of
fall.
August, they'll have the bridge inspection report, and then October, mid to late October, they should have the cost estimate.
Okay.
I do have one more question, is that we pay somebody to do bridge inspections around the city, right?
Yes.
Is this part of that? Why
So,
not?
Well, it's a pedestrian bridge for one, right?
yeah, and I think it's just a timing thing, cause I don't know how often we do that. That's more Sullivan Green's department, that does that, so.
We've also continued, it's been an Aldott Bridge, United City Bridge, but I think now that's,
A moot point.
we've flown well past that, it's now ours, so it will become part of our overall bridge inspection.
All right.
All right, I'll make a motion.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Is there, sure, no one else wants to discuss this?
Oh, I love to discuss it, but I'll yield.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no, it passed. Sorry. Item number 2 is approved. Item number 3 is authorizing a minor public works contract, crimson carpet and flooring for installation of landing carpet at various city hall locations. It's, you're gonna, $6,430. Tim, welcome.
Thank you, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So this is funded by the facility renewal budget, and this is to install carpet in 6 locations around City Hall, which also include the carpet inside 2 new elevators here in Annex 1.
Questions?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 3 is approved. Item number 4 is authorization of a minor public works contract with Fluid Glass Construction for replacement of windows at Fire Station 8, a total of $11,275. Tim?
So this is to replace 12 windows at Station 8. Those windows are original to the building, which was constructed in 1976, so these windows are approximately 48 years old. One of the objectives we're hoping to achieve is to have some energy efficiency improvements within the building. We definitely have some issues of the temperature being warmer than we prefer it to be in the summertime, and having issues keeping the AC to the temperature desired.
Fog up a little bit too.
Motion.
Questions?
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 4 is approved. Item number 5 is authorization or authorizing a minor public works contract to Tuscaloosa for the purpose and installation of window tent for Fire Station 8, the total of $1,685. Tim?
Yes, sir, same location, so this is going to tint the windows that we are not replacing, that are larger windows inside the office area and living room area, also to help improve the climate control of the building.
Question?
So Tim, these are, this whole cluster of 4 or 5 that you're presenting here, they're all in the maintenance budget, right?
Yes, sir. This one, as well as the previous ones, are within the facility renewal maintenance budget. Yes, sir. Some of the ones coming after this are other budgets.
Okay, and you'll specify when you brief it.
Yes, sir.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 5 is approved. Item number 6 is authorizing a minor public works contract with the Cook Boardman Group for the purchase and installation of cores at Fire Station 11. The total is $2,771, Tim.
Yes, sir. And just for clarity, Cook Boardman is now the owner of Building Specialties. I believe most everyone's familiar with them. This is to provide and install the lock cores at the new Fire Station 11. The cores themselves were not part of the construction package, so this is to install those cores and provide keys. And this is funded from the.
What's a core?
That's what I'm saying.
The actual cylinder with the pins, the key goes into for all of the doors at Station 11.
Why didn't you ask instead of me having to ask all the
I was
stupid
about to
questions?
ask, hey, you beat me to the punch.
And this is funded by the same grant funds that are building the station.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Item number 6, keep looking for things to spend on that fire station.
Yes, sir, we are.
I've got some other things we get to.
As long as it's for Station 11.
Okay, all right. Item number 7 is authorizing a minor professional services contract with Jacobs for design services for the Jerry Plot Water Treatment Plant, HVAC, total $61,550, Tim.
So this is funded by the Water and Sewer Facility Renewal Budget. And this is for a new design for HVAC improvements throughout the Plot plant. Plot plant constructed in 2007. The HVAC needs various repairs. We're having issues with maintaining appropriate temperatures throughout the facilities. We've had various mechanical failures with that original equipment. And so this contract here would be to provide an entirely new design.
And Tim, is this to keep the temperatures at a level that's required for machinery function, or is this for human comfort, or what's?
Well, it's a mixture. The building is sweaty. We've got mold issues that we want to address from a safety standpoint, not necessarily comfort, but we also do have equipment, and I believe some sensitive chemicals that they need to.
The air conditioning in that is intermixed from the admin to the process side of it, and so that's a lot of it, and so it runs a lot harder in the process side of it than it does the admin side of it, but it's both are having issues.
Okay. Motion.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 7 is approved. Item number 8 is authorizing a professional services contract with Ward Scott Morris Architecture for Bowers Park. The total is $671,100. Tim.
Motion.
My God.
It's a big number.
The first of two contracts today related to the Bowers Park Phase 1 renovations. This is with Ward Scott Morris, and we have Jordan Morris here with us today. Of course, just to reiterate, Tara is going to continue to manage the property and the facility. This portion of the design is for the new restroom facility associated with the pickleball courts, as well as a belt building expansion. The addition would include therapeutic pool, new roof, and gymnasium floor to the existing gym. The construction component of this is going to be in 2 segments. The first segment being the pickleball courts themselves, as well as the pickleball restroom. We are anticipating that construction to begin by March of 25, with about a 6-month construction duration, wrapping up somewhere around late September of 25. And then the second phase of this construction will begin around October of 25 and wrapping up in late 26.
Question?
Jordan, come on up. Welcome. What,
Yes.
tell us what kind of priorities and challenges you're anticipating with this piece of work.
So as far as the project, it would be primarily manned, or the prime consultant would be TTL for managing the pickleball court portion. So we're really working with a sub-consultant with them just for the restroom facility there. Our portion of the project would be the expansion of the existing Belk Center, which would include the new therapeutic pool. We have a specialty consultant that the city has introduced us to through the initial programming and analysis portion of it. They're going to develop all of the specialty requirements for the pool, including the walk lanes and the lap portion, and make sure that all of the equipment is correct and it's things that the city can maintain. Obviously, at the McAfee Center, there have been challenges over there with all of the equipment and the HVAC, so these folks will be able to allow us to have things that are serviceable. Additionally, they're working on an existing para-campus, so we would have to be working around all of that, so that would be the other challenge. But it should be a fairly clean, simple addition. Obviously, it would be improvements to that building that's got some age on it as far as the roof, and then the floor in the gym was a specific request.
Okay. So this does not include TTL's the prime for the pickleball piece.
So the way this has been structured is all of my work is under my scope here that's being approved for both portions of the project. There would be 2 bid packages.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 8 is approved.
That was for you.
Item number 9 is authorizing a professional services contract with TCL for Bowers Park Design and Construction Services. The total is $1,055,200.
Yes, sir. And this is the second component of the design package for Bowers, and this is for TTL, which will manage the overall construction project. And of course, providing design services for the entire phase. Of course, they're designed heavy on the civil portion, which includes pickleball courts and everything associated with the parking lot and the expansion. So we're looking at up to, within the renders that you've seen, I believe included in your package, we're looking at up to 23 pickleball courts. So that final number will be fleshed out through the design process.
So we got somebody from TTL
Yes,
here?
sir. Jason Walker's here.
Jason, I don't want you getting your feelings hurt, cause I asked Jordan to come up and didn't ask you, so come on up.
Be happy to answer any questions.
Well, same one, what are the priorities going into the design and the challenges you anticipate? So we got 670 in you and then $1,055,000 here. We're at 170-ish in the design, but your piece is including the construction oversight, is that right?
Yeah, of
Okay.
both areas, including the civil, there's overlapping scope, architecture a little bit in the standalone restroom building at the pickleball facility. And then there's obviously geotechnical and civil survey at the Belk Center. So the services for each, instead of putting some civil in the Ward Scott package and then putting some in ours, they're just 2 standalone packages of which we work closely with these guys all the time. We'll work together, but we'll be responsible for managing timelines, sequencing, and doing those services we would normally do for the Belk Center addition. There's a pretty big lift of that into the parking lot to meet ADA to get it up to where kind of a new entrance will come in from that kind of south
Is
side.
it not ADA compliant already?
It is, but it's kind of awkward because when you go in now, there's about 5 or 6 parking spaces, and you go in that main atrium kind of covered area. We're gonna kind of, through this and through Ward Scott's work and through that master planning phase, kind of turn the front of the building back around to face the large parking lot, which makes sense. Because a lot of times people go to that facility for basketball games, everything else. They're parking up on the grass and everywhere else because they want to be at the front door. There'll be a more natural front door now, but that's a pretty good bit lower. So we'll have kind of a break in the parking area, but have a lifted area of the primary parking area right at that new front door to meet ADA. So a lot going on grade wise.
But it won't be that same steep bank going on.
That's right, yeah, because we'll lift the parking lot
Right.
and transition it up
Right.
closer, and there'll be a little bit of a slope down to the rest of the lot.
And George is doing the therapeutic pool. Are y'all doing any work on the big pool?
No, that's not, that's part of the master plan, there could be future improvements, that's not part of this. We'll be doing parking lot improvements near the pickleball entrance in that area, and then just the pickleball with lighting, landscape architecture, those kinds of things.
Okay, good. And Mayor, I'm gonna revert to my dumb excuse.
I'm just laughing thinking of Jason designing a therapeutic pool.
No.
Hey, we've
You
talked
had the
about
right
it.
one. There you go.
For me, I'd like it to slope downhill.
Is this,
There's a lot of
Mayor,
requirements.
this is ultimately a para-owned or a city-owned?
The way we foresee this is that this will be a para-managed facility.
Para-managed,
We
but
own
we
it,
still own
We
it,
own it.
right?
Yes.
Okay. And as a, are they, and actually they'll be here in 2 minutes.
They've been, I think the
Are
answer.
they having any input, since they're managing the recreational activities that go on, right?
Absolutely.
Are they having input into the design level?
Absolutely, because as you know, the long-term plan is really the consolidation of the services of Maccabee and Belk into one, and a repurposing of the Maccabee Center in the future. And so para is definitely part of those discussions, because they're gonna have to run the day-to-day operations of those facilities.
And the plan will be that we save money from Maccabee. We won't be spending
Everybody be quiet, here they are.
we won't be spending what we've been spending at Maccabee because.
All right, well, that answers my question. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it.
Any other
I do
questions?
think you could design a therapeutic.
I don't think motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Move second, all in favor, say aye.
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 Item number 9 is approved. Item number 10 is authorization, execution, or authorizing execution of an airport hangar lease with DDC Global LLC. Jeff, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Finished 2 negotiations for 2 different leases. This first one is involving a construction of a brand new hangar on the airport. Showing some locations. This is on the terminal side of the runway, facing Hawthorne, Tuscaloosa in the background of that picture. The location of the hangars highlighted in blue, and they've already got to the point of having some site plans developed for that location. So this would involve a 12,000 square foot hangar for VDC Global. They are local developers interested in locating some aircraft here at Tuscaloosa. We've negotiated a 30-year lease, and they're ready to execute. And this picture is just highlighting that this does match our master plan, the use of that property. The bottom right blue area is where this hangar would be.
And Jeff, at the end of that 30 years, is it a simple, it's ours now, or is there some formula for retention of equity in that, or is there not expected to be any really at 30 years?
Every lease depends on what they do between now and the end of the 30 years. If they come back and say, hey, we want to make improvements or we want to expand, there's the ability to extend that lease. But if they invest no additional dollars between now and 30 years, that hangar would revert to the city.
No additional dollars additional to the initial design they're presenting?
That's correct.
Question?
Make it work, Jim.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Move second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 10 is approved. Item number 11, authorizing execution of an airport hangar lease agreement with Barbara G. Davis. Jeff.
Yes, sir. This is a lease renewal, or one had expired that we've worked with the Davis family. Here's the location of that. It's on the east side of the airport, south side. As you come into the main terminal, the box there highlighted in red. So committed some improvements. It needs some deferred maintenance, limited maintenance. So we're recommending a 5-year lease on it. And that's typically that once one's expired, we kind of go into a short-term leases versus something that's got brand new construction.
Question.
So from probably a couple of years back, maybe more than that, when we were looking at how to get our hangar rates more in line with market rates to the best we could receive them, is that a renewal like this? Is that when we do this?
That's our time to renegotiate to current standards, and both leases are at market rate.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second. Move second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 11 is approved. Item number 12 is approval of a right-of-way use permit, 24-06 for 27 University Circle. Mike.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So this request is for, the residents of 27 University Circle. This is, owned by the Yokens. Let me back up. So they want to replace a wooden fence with, a brick wall. And in the course of their renovation of their home and doing this, they discovered through a survey that, the fence was not entirely on the property. Looking at 14th Avenue, to the left is north, so where their driveway entrance is, the fence is on the property line. Then as it proceeds south, paralleling 14th Avenue and the sidewalk, it deviates, or it runs in a straight line, but it gets off into the public right of way. The request here is to remove the fence. This is a couple of pictures of the fence. This is looking north at the driveway, and this is the portion that's in the public right of way. As you can see, the fence to the north, their neighbor to the north, that fence is in the public right of way. We turn around and we look to the south. You can see the continuity that the fence was built paralleling the road and the sidewalk, the uniformity of the grass. But the property line is not parallel to the road. If you look further on down, I don't have a pointer, but on beyond, there's a brick wall that is in the right of way as well. So there's several locations in this neighborhood where improvements were built in the right of way, and it's my opinion that they were probably done inadvertently. So again, this aged fence, they want to replace it with a masonry wall, and this is the visualization of what the wall will look like. We've looked at this. We don't have any underground utilities on the east side of 14th Avenue in this location. This makes some pretty good sense to let them put that wall back in the location that the fence is. It's obviously gonna be much more attractive.
Can you go back to the big picture, the package that you attached in, what you sent out to us? I couldn't get it to open, no. The big overhead picture, one more there.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so, let me get my bearings.
All right, let me kind of help you here.
All right.
So this
You
is.
want me to get you a stool, stand up?
So where the star is, this is our application, that's the Oakley residence. Up at the very top, right here, is where their driveway access is today, and they have an actuated rolling gate. And that part is in the right of way or on their property. Then as you head south, this end of the fence is the part that's somewhat encroaching, about 2.5 feet. You can see this wall here is the one that I was trying to show you in the foreground of that photograph that's in the right of way already. And then the trees are kind of covering it, but north of that little green outline was the wooden fence that I pointed out that's in the right of way as well. If you go back to that fence here, this is on the right of way or the property line. That one extends out into the right of way. If you look, so does that one in the foreground as well. They've probably been in the right of way many years.
That fence gotta be over 25 years old.
So we don't have any underground utilities. We don't have any concerns about us having to get to our property or them carrying up our lot.
Well, no, sir, and again, remember, the right-of-way use permit, once it's adopted, it's a document, it becomes a document that it gives us the ability, if we need to remove that improvement from the right of way.
It's right of way use, not
Yeah,
right of way
It just
ownership.
establishes who maintains what.
And is Ashley in here? Or Zach?
I don't believe we have.
Okay, I didn't, there's no, are there any HPC issues involved in this?
I'm Shane
Somebody's been
Yobley, I'm
cut.
listening to all the.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. HPC approved this
Okay.
last week.
And as a member of the HBC, I can vouch for that. It was a unanimous decision.
Well, let's keep the train rolling. I don't have any problems with it, it's my district.
Thank you very much.
Motion,
So moved.
Second.
moving to second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved. That is item number 12. Is there any other business to be brought before our committee? Our next committee meeting will be next Tuesday, July the 23rd. Hearing no new items, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved to second, all in favor say